I'm rolling.
Okay. Hello, it's Mayor Kaufusi, and we are here for another Conversations with Kaufusi.
Before you get started, we need to maintain a proper distance.
Thanks for the reminder, Karen.
Where are we at? Wait, here we are, 6 feet.
Perfect.
There we go.
Okay, I'm going to have to use my long arm to hand you the microphone for the answers, but that's what we got to do. Well, let me start by thanking you for joining us on Conversations with Kaufusi, and I want to allow you to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are and what you do and what a huge role you play in the city for us all.
Thanks. My name is Karen Tapahi, and I work in the City Council office. My official title is Community Relations Coordinator. I handle communications for the council, but I also work with our very important neighborhood program, which is a big part of our communications with the city. So we've been scrambling a lot to try to work on some things, and that's why I wanted to hang out with you today.
Well, I'm so happy you're willing to join me. So let's just get right into it. My first question for you is, since the governor has asked us to all figure out how to work from home if possible, how has that impacted your office and the city council members?
It's actually had a really interesting impact. We have a small team, but we each carry a pretty big load. We've been trying to work remotely as much as possible to respect the social distancing recommendations. So we've been working from home, most of us. We always make sure there's one person in the office. We don't want to shut the public out. So there is always one person available in case there is that urgent need. But otherwise, the rest of us are working from living rooms, spare bedrooms, wherever we find that space. The council members, they don't usually spend a lot of time in the office other than committee meetings, and we have a lot of committee meetings. So we have found ways to bring those online as well. So we've been face-to-face a lot, but face-to-face online, which is a very, very different process. Fortunately, we have been pretty well set up to manage our documents and do a lot of things from a distance, and I don't think we've missed a beat along the way, but it's definitely a challenge.
Well, it's just different for all of us, right? I mean, we all have to figure out how to turn our mic off mute and turn our video on or off. I mean, we're all learning, so thanks for everything you guys are doing. But that brings me to my next question. Have you had to cancel any meetings or activities since this has happened?
That was kind of the sad part for me. The first thing we had to cancel was our semi-annual neighborhood chair training that we do. It's such an important thing. We've got all these great volunteers who are working with us and getting the word out to people, and we like to meet with them to make sure we're all understanding things the same way and handle any questions, and that was the first one to go, which was sad. And but with all of what we're doing now, I think we may have launched ourselves into a new era where we can do some of this training online. Also, neighborhood meetings are on hold. I got quite the eye-opener when I showed up for the Riverside neighborhood meeting and couldn't get into our location. It was a retirement home that had offered us the space, but unfortunately, well, fortunately for them, they respected the governor's instructions and said, please, no outside people. So I sat outside and waited, and only one person showed up. But I respect that, and where a lot of our meetings are at schools and locations like that, they're not open to us right now. We definitely don't want to pull in crowds, and right now we are looking for ways to hold some virtual meetings when it's necessary, because there are big things for neighborhoods to talk about, and we'll get that taken care of soon.
Okay, thank you for that update on our neighborhoods. They're a huge piece of our city and the program. So talk to me. We have our first city council meeting coming up on March 31st. A lot of questions as to how are you going to run it? how will the citizens be able to engage? Will it be live? Will they be able to ask questions? Just all those good things, Karen.
This has actually occupied most of my time since these recommendations came from the governor. We've done so much research and work on this. We have quite a powerful team in our office, and we're good at dividing up the work, and that's been very necessary. So our policy analysts continue to gather everything they need to for the council meeting, and the rest of us have really gone out there finding out what options were available, we've been doing a lot of training. Many of you may have realized how hard it is to get everybody in the same meeting at the same time and get microphones working or muted when necessary, all the different camera problems. There's just a lot to it, and then to be able to share documents during a meeting. So we've been researching, we've been watching other people. We had the advantage of having a little extra time. We had 3 weeks between our last meeting and this upcoming one, and that is a relief. Because we have found a really good solution. We're going to use a platform called Zoom, and we will be bringing you and our council members and staff and the presenters. They'll all be part of that, and then we'll broadcast it our usual way. That's kind of the wonderful thing. We're already really good at broadcasting those. So the work meeting, the regular council meeting, they'll still be going out on our regular channels on Facebook Live and on YouTube. The big change is public comment. You won't be in this room. I mean, it's quite empty, and there won't be an actual physical location. The governor gave an executive order that releases us from that. So we have set up a way for people to call in to make their comments. It's a little bit different, but we wanted to make sure everybody still had that opportunity. The call-in also works for those who aren't as good at getting online or may not have internet access. They'll be able to call in and at least listen to the meeting. So we're excited and a little bit nervous, honestly. This will be quite an adventure. We still plan to keep the 2-minute limit on comments. But we've been coordinating a lot of this, and I'm fairly certain it'll be good. I enjoyed watching the Planning Commission have their first meeting last night, and, it's a little bumpy at first in all of these, but it really was neat to see how they handled comments a little bit different way, but they got through it. They got those public comments in. We're also encouraging people to please send your comments in advance. If you know what you want to say, it's always better to send it in before the meeting. They actually get a chance to read it before they come into that very important time to make decisions. So, and we just posted that actually at provocitycouncil.com, which is our blog. All that information on how to call in, how to watch the meeting, it's all there. And we'll see if we can get that added as well to Provo City's COVID-19 page so that you know how to participate in the public meetings while we're going.
That's fantastic, and I guess I would just say, everyone, please be patient with us because this is trial and error. I've been in, I think, multiple meetings online, and some work better than others, and sometimes it takes a few minutes for us to figure it out and get it going, but the council, I have no doubt it will work well. You've come well prepared. You've been practicing. Today, actually, we did a practice as well, another practice run. But again, I just ask the public to be patient with us. This will be our first, and we're going to figure it out, so hang in there with us. But sounds like you've got everything under control. And you answered the other questions I had was where else could people find information about the City Council? I mean, if you want to talk about a couple other spots, that would be great.
We probably put our best, most up-to-date information on the council's Facebook page. So, get on Facebook and search for Provo City Council. We're really good on Twitter as well. We get a lot of great updates there. And then, like I said, our blog is provocitycouncil.com. We will be publishing our citizens agenda sometime this weekend once we get everything gathered together. And that's our user-friendly version. When I first got here, I couldn't believe how many terms we use that I had no idea what we were talking about. And so that's our version that's like, okay, a real person can read this agenda. And then on provo.org, the city council has several different individual pages there nested under the city council area, and a lot of great information. You can get to our agendas, contact your city council member, all the good stuff. And if you've never been on provo.org before, the search box is your friend, so use it.
Well, you've just answered every question to the fullest, so thank you. And the citizens and the city, we're all lucky to have you in and working with us to help us keep everyone informed, and especially keeping the council, letting us know what's going on in your area. Again, join us on March 31st. I believe our study session starts at noon, and then the the public meeting will start at 5:30. So please join us and reach out and let us know if there's anything we can do to make it easier for you to be a part of our first online city council meeting. And thank you, Karen, for joining me.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Thanks, everybody.